Boom Beach will be dropping the Summer Skies update sometime next week. This update will fix a great deal of bugs, and we'll be introducing new features like a mythical monument leaderboard, Path of Glory, and slight changes as to how your map will now be invaded. Quick disclaimer, Skull Army, I am on the developer build account, which is a private server lent to me by Supercell for the purpose of testing out new features and updates to then showcase to you, the Skull Army and friends. And yes, in today's video, we will be breaking down and going over not one, I love these videos, not two, not three, 3.5. We've got about 3.5 pages of bullet points to break down for you. Everything from QOL, UI fixes and improvements, not to mention bunker and garrison changes, so how you will be garrisoning your troops in the bunker. There will be slight changes. We do have other fixes and improvements. We will be talking about, of course, our mythical monument leaderboard, so we've got bragging rights on top of our bragging rights, and we're introducing a new feature called Path of Glory, which is all visual, but it's a really, really cool tool or resource for players to kind of look forward to what they have coming down the road when they are unlocking different HQ levels. And then, of course, we'll be finishing off the sneak peek video here for the Summer Skies update, talking about the changes to how your map will now be invaded. Now, I'm just going to point out, guys, that there is really nothing to do with warships for this update. There is two bullet points out of the 40, and they are pure QOL and UI. So I'll just tell them to you right now. So the first fix for warships is fixed not showing boost header in warships UI if the only active boost is gunboat energy. So if you only had gunboat energy active for a season stat in warship, for some reason it would not show. Now it's going to show. And now the second one, warship leaderboard, it now shows player positions for all players. So you know how on Mega Crab you can literally like scroll all the way down and see where you are on the leaderboard. So without further ado, let's roll intro and let's get this started. Let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, and yes, good evening, Skull Army and friends. It's your boy, your friendly and neighborhood SkullCrusher, coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. And in today's video, sneak peek and breakdown for the new Boom Beach Summer Skies update, which will be dropping sometime next week, hopefully. We will be beginning today's video breaking down and talking about the UI fixes and improvements. So starting things off with increased vertical camera movement in player bases. For anyone that was having this issue, this is now fixed. We did talk about right in the beginning, fixed not showing boost header in warships UI if the only active boost is gunboat energy. When a resource base is captured from the player, the message no longer shows VP being lost, as resource bases no longer cause VP gain or loss. I didn't even know this was an issue here. Fixed the COE, fixed the cycle of evil banners not showing on the map in certain cases. I didn't even know that some players didn't have the cycle of evil banner showing up on your map, but now this will be fixed. Landing, okay, first I have to point out that this is purely satirical. We're gonna have a before and after for this one right here. Landing craft unit positioning has been tuned to prevent units from falling overboard. So we're gonna be showing you what all the troops look like on the landing crafts pre-Summer Skies update, and then we're gonna be comparing it to the post Summer Skies update. And honestly, it's just purely satirical. Your troops are now a little bit tighter on the landing craft, so there's no risk of anybody falling in the water. I mean, it's funny. I like how they did this. They threw this in here purely for satirical reasons, just to get a laugh out of it. Or at least that's the way I'm looking at it, because there's no other benefit to this one other than your troops are now tighter on the landing craft. Nobody's fallen in, okay? Rip to all the riflemen we've lost over the years falling overboard. So let's move on here, guys. Fixed sculptor, prototype factory, and daily chest rewards closing their respective parent windows. Let's get over here. Now the parent window should stay open. So for example, the shop doesn't close when you're claiming a daily box. So, you know, you're going to claim that. For some reason, the window would close when you would claim it. Now it's going to stay open. So if this was an issue bothering a lot of you, it is now fixed. Ooh, this one's nice for the seasonal campaign. Seasonal campaign mission progress message position adjusted so that the UI doesn't get blocked. So you know when you were like completing your missions and then you might have a chest to collect and then you would complete your missions on the boom pass and then it would tell you literally right in front of you trying to claim your chest? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is fixed now. So you're no longer going to have your boom pass messages, you know, progression bar popping up right in front of you trying to claim your chest. I do believe it is going to be moved up a little bit more now. So, I mean, you know what? That was a little bit annoying, but, you know, not the end of the world. This one I like, because I pointed this out when we did get skins. When using custom skins for units, the correct icons are now used as well. So if we make our way over to the landing craft here, and if I were to change troops, look at that. You can see my stylish heavy, my stylish medic, my legacy tank, and I've got the Scorcher selected, so we'll switch over to a warrior. Let's just kind of speed that up right there, and then go back to the warrior boat so you can see the Scorcher legacy skin as well. So we got the fortified Scorcher or legacy Scorcher, you know, legacy tank, stylish medic, and heavy. So now the skins, the icons for your troops, when you select the skins, will now be reflecting in their troop loadouts or wherever. And yes, this also does get applied for warships as well. So we take a look, if I'm jumping into battle in warships, would you look at that? My stylish heavies, my stylish medics, and my legacy tanks. So now the correct icon for the skin for the troop you're using is now correctly applied. So that's pretty cool. Again, just, you know, a nice, you know, QOL feature right there, just, you know, to kind of match things up a little bit more appropriately. Warships leaderboard now shows player positions for all players, and we did briefly touch on this. Now, depending on wherever you are situated on the leaderboard, honestly, it should show you just like it does in Mega Crab as well. We're going to be making our way over and talking about the changes to the bunker and how you will be garrisoning your troops. And the garrison just means you stationing your troops inside the bunker. So quick refresher on the bunker. Bunker allows you to garrison troops in your base. Troops can attack from inside the bunker. Some troops have extended range while in the bunker. The garrison cannot be stunned, taunted, or frozen. It can be hacked. When the bunker is destroyed, the garrison will leave the bunker and continue fighting, meaning that when your bunker is destroyed, the troops you have garrisoned inside will now be fighting against you. So, you know, it's literally just a few extra troops on the battlefield to worry about. So we're going to make our way over here. We're going to clear everything up here. So once again, starting with the bunker. So the bunker tutorial will no longer trigger in an enemy base in certain situations. Shield generator cables are no longer going into bunkers during attacks if there are units in the bunkers. I've never seen this, but apparently this was a thing. Units are ejected from bunkers if their team does not match the bunker. So what does that mean? This occurs when the bunker is hacked. Moving into units from bunkers no longer get resurrected by the attacker. So Dr. Gavon will no longer be reviving enemy troops from enemy bunkers. I know a few players had fun with this, but this will now be fixed. Garrison UI has a new icon for upkeep to differentiate it from gold cost. So if you take a look, you're going to see a gold coin with a, looks like a timer there, one of those sand timers. I believe that is the new icon that they are talking about. There are several small tweaks to make the Garrison UI clearer. Garrison units are now automatically applied after the pop-up is closed. Previously, changes were discarded on exiting unless specifically applied first. So this one I like. So when I select a Laser Ranger for my bunker here, so this is post after the Summer Skies update, now I can just leave my bunker, and when I go back to that bunker to check my garrison troops, my Laser Ranger is still in there. Previously, there was a button that said applied, so if I selected the Laser Ranger and didn't press that apply button before I left, I would go back to my bunker, and that Laser Ranger would no longer be stationed, would be garrisoned inside the bunker. So this is fixed now. It's just easier user interface, easier UI here. Now, whatever troop that you do select to be stationed in the bunker, you don't have to press apply, and when you do leave and then go back, your garrison troops will still be inside the bunker. Resource production logic was changed to fix issues with upkeep handling. Gold is no longer automatically collected when changing garrisoned units. So I do like that they gave a little bit of love and attention to the garrison. It is the newest defense added to Boom Beach, so why not tweak it and just make it a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more user-friendly, you know, for the next update here. So definitely let me know in the comments what your thoughts are to the tweaks coming to the bunker and garrisoning your troops. We're going to be moving forward and touching on other fixes and improvements. So, improved shooting. This one's kind of funny for those that, you know, did actually pay attention to this. Improved shooting positions for gunboats. Boats with 2 turrets will now shoot from both of them. So, fixed units getting stuck targeting hidden defenses. Hot pot, boom surprise, if their range is higher than the turrets. Fixed a bug that allowed players to get an additional turret in warships. So I guess that's 3 things actually for warships. If they upgraded a node after a negative node, caused their turret count to go to 0. Unit versus unit retargeting logic has been adjusted. So slow firing units, for example, the bombardier, were sometimes skipping every other shot when other enemy units, such as enemy critters, were between them and their target. So it looks like now the bombas should actually finish their target before they retarget to the enemy critters. So this one is a little bit more beneficial, and I did actually have to join a task force on the dev build. Shout out to Meg and Greg. No idea, but you guys are the real MVP. Players are now shown a warning message if leaving a task force. This would cause intel they have collected to be lost. And not only are you going to get that pop-up message, and it's going to look like this, but intel collected by each member is shown next to their name. Count resets weekly. We know this. A member must stay in the task force for 3 hours or their intel is lost. That has been added. Force points decreased by 5% daily. That we already knew. So it does look like they will be adding this, I do believe, to the front page of the task force. Keep in mind, this is only a 10-man. I'm not sure if it will look the same for a 25, a 50. More than likely, it will look the same for a 5 as well. This one is exciting because this was a little bit annoying here. We're going to make our way over to our map here, the archipelago. So this one I really like because it kind of goes hand in hand with warships. Earned victory points is applied to the next VP chest if the current chest is full. So right now I have 0 of 8, you know, daily chest ready. Let's say if I did have 8 of 8 and I went in to collect that first chest. So my first 5 VP and I could claim that chest. Well, let's say if I didn't claim that chest and I kept going in and attacking bases. Well, previously those victory points would not be counted towards your daily chest if you did have a chest to collect. Now that's going to be fixed. Now you can clear your entire map and then go and just pick up all your chests, kind of similar to in warships when you are chest collecting and, you know, you take out all the engine rooms, and let's say you do multiple battles and then you collect all your chests at once. So this is a really, really cool feature here. Now essentially players don't have to worry about lost victory points being counted towards their daily chests. In the seasonal campaign reward track, the bypass point button is now situated under the free rewards. This was changed to clarify that the purchase does not award the actual rewards, only the points. Having the boom pass reduces the cost of switching nodes in warships. So this is going to be a blessing. This is going to be a little bit lighter on your diamonds. This affects both the cost and the cost cap. So it's going to be cheaper and more affordable switching your multi-nodes in warships if you are a boom pass holder. Making our way to the Mystical Monument leaderboard. So a leaderboard has been added to the Mystical Monument. When you now click your Mystical Monument, you're going to see that LB icon. When you do click the leaderboard icon, you're going to have a global, a local, and of course your friends as well. But let's talk about the global leaderboard here. How is this going to work? How in the heck is a Mythical Monument global leaderboard going to work? It's going to work very easy, just like this. Only players active in the last 2 weeks are visible on the leaderboard. So you've got to be an active player if you have a Mystical Monument to be shown on the leaderboard, which means you have to have played in the last 2 weeks to have your account shown on the leaderboard. So I think these leaderboards will be changing a lot due to inactivity. Now, ties are resolved by whichever player got there first. So as you can see on the global leaderboard on the dev build here, the test account is number 1, Mythical Monument level 300. The Chicken, Code Zedmont, the Chicken, Dev Build Skull, were all also Mythical Monument level 300. Well, this just means that the test on the Dev Build server here was the first player to make rank was the first player to make it to stage 300, and then the Chicken, and then Code Zedmont, and then Chicken's other account, and then your boy Scully. So it's whoever gets there first is how ties will be resolved here. So I guess this is just, you know, a little bit more bragging rights on top of the bragging rights. But if they are going to introduce the Mythical Monument, you know what, you might as well, you know what, add some more flex to it. Okay, let's see who's, you know, taking it the most serious. So, you know, expect players like Mr. P-Trick to pretty much be dominating that global leaderboard. I believe he was one of the first to actually max it. So when this update does go live, check that global leaderboard. I'm calling it. You're going to see Mr. P-Trick most likely in the top 5. No, top 3 on the global for Mystical Monument. Path of Glory. This one I like. And you know what? This one is more so for newer players, and it's just something aesthetic. It's just something really cool to look at. It's a resource and a tool which tells you what you have to look forward to. Path of Glory is an informational feature that indicates at which stage of a player's journey various features are unlocked. So we're going to make our way over to the user interface on the left side of the screen, the light bulb there, and you're going to see Path of Glory with a thumbs up. You're going to click it. And this is your Path of Glory here, pretty much breaking down the headquarters from HQ1 all the way up to the current max level HQ, which we can get at HQ 26. Let's make our way back to HQ1. It lists buildings, troops, plus game features. Path of Glory is accessed from the building suggester. So we just talked about how to get there from the user interface. And now, as you can see, you know, for players that are just starting to play Boom Beach, you know, headquarters level 1. Well, what do you get at HQ level 1? You get your landing craft. You get rifleman, gunboat, artillery, residence, sawmill, radar, sniper tower, time savers, and troop manias are available at HQ level 1. But let's say now you're in HQ level 2. Well, what do you have to look forward to? Well, you have your heavy, your wood storage, your vault. HQ 3, let's add a gold storage and a flare. HQ 4, well, now we've got the hero hut, Sergeant Brick, hero tokens, medkit, the armory now becomes available. Mortar, machine gun, mine. I love that they're showcasing the trader is available now at HQ level 4. Trader tickets as well. HQ level 5, we've got Zuka, Sculptor, crystals, statues, power powder, and it does look like the seasonal campaign does become available at HQ 5, not to mention classified items, build tokens, skins, all the goodies. So if you're a new player, you want to make your way over to HQ level 5 because Boom Pass, classified items, build tokens, skins, what else could you ask for? And then, you know, HQ 6, task forces, intel, you know, Dr. T Islands, HQ 7, hello, come on, HQ 8, warriors, come out to play. HQ 9, we got that sub and those troop loadouts, not to mention imitation game. HQ 10, bring on the warships right there. HQ 11, temporary gunboat abilities. HQ 13, we got some rocket launchers and base layouts here. HQ 14, hello, critter launchers and proto troops. HQ 15, we got Sparkalicious prototype defenses. Hammerman strikes back at HQ 15. You got to make sure you got some meat on your base before you take on this guy here. War Factory becomes available. HQ 16, we got the Grenadier. 17, shock launcher. 18, Scorcher, and the cool tribes. QOL? Well, anyways, tribes are available. Raw crystals as well. HQ 19, bullet, laser rangers, critters. HQ 20, we got the Cryoneer and the mystical monument, and it's even got the icon on the top right of each info card here, so you are able to actually click the info card, the icon on each info card, which then will break it down for you right here and then. So just like it tells us, this is a really good informational feature that pretty much indicates where you are on your journey and what features, troop loadouts, and other game items are available. So very, very cool, guys. I mean, this is something, you know, you would have liked to seen, you know, when Boom Beach is coming out, right? Like, you know, for a 10-year-old mobile game, now to be introducing Path of Glory, you know, it's about time, never too late, I guess, but this is a resource that newer players need earlier in the game so they know what they have to look forward to. And this is honestly, I think, one of the coolest resources that Boom Beach has added to essentially hype up newer players, what they have to look forward to down the road here. So definitely let me know in the comments what your thoughts are when it does come to the Path of Glory. And now making our way over to invasion logic changes. Your map. How players invade your map is now changing. So, logic for determining when an enemy invades the archipelago map has been adjusted. Blackguard, which is PvE, and Mercenary, which is PvP, invasions are now on separate timers and are no longer random. These timers are visible in the radar info screen. So if we take a look at the radar, go to the info, Blackguard invasion in blank, Mercenary invasion in blank. But I want to give you a little bit more of a realistic look on that. So since we are on the dev build and my map is absolutely filled, you know, the power of the dev build, we're just going to clear our map in 3, 2, 1. And just like that, our map has now been cleared, minus the resource bases. Let's go back to the radar. And as you can see, now we're talking here, okay? So, Blackguard invasion. No. So now we're talking here. Blackguard invasion in 2 hours and 3 minutes. Mercenary invasion in a possible 1 hour and 56 minutes here. The tooltips for these timers will give additional information. So Blackguard invasion in 2 hours and 3 minutes. Check this out. Tooltip. Conquer Blackguard bases to reduce the time until the next invasion. Discovered Blackguard bases, 94. Conquered Blackguard bases, 93. Mercenary invasions. Conquer mercenary bases to reduce the time until the next invasion. Discovered mercenary bases, 86, and I've conquered all 86 of my mercenary bases here. The timing for when an invasion occurs has changed. Instead of a potential invasion, there will be an invasion at the time displayed, which we've just talked about here. Now, I know that my next invasion will be 2 hours and 2 minutes for Blackguard and will be 1 hour and 55 minutes for Mercenary. The base time for the invasion increases based on player level. This indicates the shortest time the timers can have. Base time is capped at 2 hours at level 60. How is it capped at 2 hours? I'm a level 80, and we're 2 hours and 2 minutes? Base time. Is that Blackguard invasion? Well, we'll figure it out here. Timer duration depends on the amount of discovered and liberated islands. Remember that word, liberated. It'll be making its way down the road eventually. There is a minimum number of islands that need to be liberated for the timer to start. So as you saw before, you know, my map was full. The timers were inactive. Now that my map is clear, now the timers are active for Blackguard and Mercenary invasions. The number depends on the total number of islands discovered. These numbers are separate for Blackguard and Mercenary invasions. We just touched on that. The more islands beyond the required amount of islands are liberated, there's that liberated, the shorter the time to the next invasion. If all islands are liberated, the timer uses the base time. The timer is recalculated when liberated or total island count changes. If the timers still have the current 14-hour inactivity cutoff, if the player has not logged in for 14 hours, the timer pauses, and then the timer will resume when the player does log in again. So not the biggest changes, but we do have slight changes coming to the invasion logic. How your map gets invaded is now changing after the Summer Skies update. So Skull Army and Friends, nothing really new as in like new troops or new defenses or new buildings. We do have, you know, new informational resources like the Path to Glory, the Mythical Monument Leaderboard, which is now a new bragging right on top of already having the Mythical Monument. So, you know, just some nice, you know, QOL, quality of life changes, some user interface changes, and of course, not to mention the bug fixes as well. I do like to see these bi-monthly to quarterly, monthly updates here, showing the devs do care about the game. They are listening to the community. They are applying some of the feedback, and this just makes me even more excited to look forward to the next update that will be dropping after Summer Skies. Skull Army and Friends, with all that madness being said here, if you have made it this far into the video, please do not forget to leave a like. It does mean the absolute world to me, does help the channel grow, and yes, of course, it does appease our YouTube algorithm overlords. For now, we will officially be wrapping up our sneak peek and breakdown video for the new Boom Beach update dropping sometime next week. called Summer Skies. We will officially be wrapping up today's video. I do believe it is now time to make like a Tom and cruise.
I'm an actor.
Catch you on the seas very soon. Have a wonderful day, Skull Army. Peace!